What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Playbook Sports Podcast, where we continue to go through all 32 NFL scripts for the 2023 NFL season. I'm coming at you guys today with an NFC East video, and I'm going to just shuffle these up. Who knows who I'm going to get and whose today is. So we're going with the Dallas Cowboys 2023 NFL script. Let's just dive right into this thing. Before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to give a special shout out to today's sponsors, starting with Gold Fine and Bowles, Lawyers for the Injured. Personal injury, workers' compensation, those are their two things, but any sort of legal advice, they're the people to call. Give them a phone call, 309-673-5144. Tell them we sent you, okay? And I'd also like to shout out SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video as well. Use promo code PlaybookSports on their website to get $20 off your first purchase of $30 or more. Let's get back to the video here. Obviously, the Cowboys were very, very good last year, even with Dak struggling with turnovers and even missing a stretch of the season. Cooper Rush came in and performed pretty well, honestly. I was genuinely impressed with how Cooper Rush was playing. Surprised he hasn't gotten a starting call for somewhere. There's so many teams where he would definitely be a better quarterback than they have. Honestly, when you look at this Cowboys team, long gone are the days where they don't have a defense and they're just relying on their offense. That defense is looking stout, especially with their offseason additions. I really like what they're building over there. I don't mind Kellen Moore walking. I'm interested to see how Mike McCarthy does as, once again, assuming the play calling roles. We'll see if he's able to thrive and if the Cowboys are able to continue to score the way that they've been scoring. So can this Dallas Cowboys team dethrone the Eagles and reclaim the NFC East? Let's find out. Week 1, Dallas will travel to New York and take on the Giants on Sunday Night Football, where they will win and move to 1-0 on the season. Giants-Cowboys always play a tough game against each other. I just like Dallas to go in there and beat them. I don't know how. I don't know if Saquon's going to be playing. He may be holding out, and that team needs a running game desperately to be successful. And if Saquon's not in, they're not going to be as good as people would like them to be. So Cowboys 1-0. Week 2, they take on the New York Jets, and this is where Roger has them losing their first game of the season. Another New York team, this time coming to Dallas. I could see it going either way. I don't know if I necessarily agree with Roger on this one because I do think the Cowboys match up well with the Jets, but everybody, including Roger, is riding this Jets hype train. So we'll go and give this one to the Jets and move the Cowboys to 1-1 on the year. A couple of games here in a row for the Cowboys to take advantage of kind of a soft part in their schedule. As week 3, they travel to Arizona to take on the Cardinals, who, as you know and have seen in every video I've mentioned them in, I think they're going to be very, very bad this season. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if Kyler even comes back, at least this year. Go watch that script video. It's an interesting script. Week 4, they will host the New England Patriots, who also I don't think are going to be very good this year. And looks like Roger agrees with me. And if you've seen Cephs reading the Patriots script, you know Roger agrees with us. And they did not get DeAndre Hopkins, who is now a Tennessee Titan. And good old McCorkle Jones will be throwing it to a bunch of nobodies and cast-offs. So, sorry, Patriots fans, you might struggle again this year. Darn it. Week 5, they travel to San Francisco. And it looks like the Cowboys are going to get the win on Sunday Night Football. They are going to go into San Francisco and beat the 49ers. Let's go, man. They're going to move to 4-1 on the season. Love that for the Cowboys. Bit of a revenge game, as the Niners have kind of been troublesome for them, and let's say that, in the last few years. But week 6, then they stay out there on the West Coast, and they go to Los Angeles for Monday Night Football. Back-to-back primetime games for your Dallas Cowboys. And Monday Night Football at the Chargers, and the Cowboys win again and move to 5-1. Man, if that Jets game was flipped, if they beat the Jets in Dallas, they could be looking at a 6-0 start, and that is what I'm talking about, Dallas fans. Unfortunately, as you're hot, you run into your bye here at Week 7. That's okay. It's not the worst time to have a bye, but it does stink because obviously we're absolutely rolling. Week 8, though, they're given kind of a cupcake to come out against and host the Los Angeles Rams, where they will just mop the floor with them, of course, and move to 6-1 on the season. Week 9, they travel to Philadelphia, and this is where Roger has Dallas getting their second loss of the season and falling to 6-2. It's likely that they will split the home and homes and then just dominate the Giants and the Commanders. If I had to guess, that's what I feel like could happen. And week 10 looks, yep, they take on the New York Giants for the second time in Dallas, and they're going to beat them and sweep the Giants for the season, moving to 7-2 on the year here. Looks like kind of a softer part in their schedule here also after that Eagles game. 3 games, very, very winnable. Week 11, they travel to Carolina. I just don't know how Carolina's going to be looking this year. Rodgers seems to think maybe they're going to struggle a little bit out of the gates and throughout the course of the season with a young team and just sort of a depleted roster. And he's got Dallas going into Carolina and knocking off the Panthers and moving to 8-2 on the season. Week 12, they host the Washington Commanders, and it's going to be Thursday night football. And they're going to beat the Commanders and move to 9-2 on the season. I mean, they might be in the driver's seat for this division. Who knows? You'll have to watch the Eagles script video and find out. Week 13 looks like they do slip up as they take on the Seattle Seahawks in Dallas, but it looks like Raj has them losing to Seattle and dropping to 9-3. Seattle's kind of a polarizing team for this year. Can Geno do it again? Was last year a flash in the pan? Even outside of Geno, man, that roster's being built the right way. I really like Seattle's defense and how they're building their team over there. And Roger has them knocking off the Cowboys in kind of a letdown game that the Dallas Cowboys typically have every single year. A game where they should win this game. They're the better team. It's on their field, and they're going to let us down just a little bit there. But still sitting 9-3, can't be too upset about that start. Especially when you look at Week 14 on Sunday Night Football as the Eagles come to Jerry World. And they leave Jerry World with a loss because Dallas knocks them off, moving to 10-3. Maybe sitting in again back in the driver's seat possibly for this division at 10-3. Have to find out what the Eagles are looking like at this point in the year. But I love that, moving to 10-3. And then Week 15 they travel. Oh, Week 15 in Buffalo. Ugh, gross. That's a tough one. And Roger agrees, and he has them losing at Buffalo in the cold. Probably going to be snowing because it's just the way it goes. Dallas will drop this one and move to 10-4 on the season. But Week 16, they get a bounce back, unfortunately, against my Miami Dolphins. They go from the cold of Buffalo to the heat of South Florida, and they're a little more at home in the heat, and looks like, unfortunately, the Cowboys are going to pick up a win here and move to 11-4 on the season. Week 17, they take on the Detroit Lions, and it looks like it's a Saturday night football game, New Year's Eve time. It's either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, one of those two, but it's a Saturday night game. And it looks like Detroit is going to come into Jerry World and knock them off. Wow, that is actually surprising. Detroit making a late push, it looks like, for that division. And they're going to beat Dallas. That's a tough loss. Probably knocks Dallas out of the division at this point. At least winning the division. Definitely making the playoffs, obviously, but that hurts. And then Week 18, they get the pitiful Washington Commanders. It is in Washington, and I'm sure Washington would love to play spoiler of some sort, especially if the division is still on the line. But you can't play spoiler without the talent. And Dallas is going to go into Washington and win to move to 12-5 as their final record. Great season from them, definitely in the playoffs. Looks like they lock up the number 5 seed as they do lose out to Philadelphia for the division. But still, going 5-1 in the division for Dallas, finishing at 12-5. That's a fantastic season. It's clear the Cowboys really don't miss Kellen Moore a whole lot as the offense continues to roll. I like that Brandon Cooks addition alongside CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup. I like that receiving room. And it looks like Pollard getting the bell cow touches. They're going to be a tough team to beat, man. If they run the ball effectively and let that defense do its thing, they're going to be a tough out. And hopefully we don't run a play where the running back is the center and that's how the season ends. That will never make sense to me in a million years. I don't understand that one bit. They just wanted to get Zeke blown up one last time for fun. I don't know. Either way, Dallas is going to be a tough team to knock off in this year's playoffs, and I can't wait to watch it, man. It's going to be a great year for Dallas and Dallas fans. So that's all I've got for you guys on the Dallas Cowboys script video. Make sure you're following all of our social media accounts at the Playbook Pod on Twitter, at Playbook_sports on TikTok. Cephs is throwing up bets on the TikTok all the time on his way to 500 total bets in the calendar year of 2023. Said that wrong last time. I know it's not 2022. My bad. But that's all I've got for you guys today, and we will see you all in the next one.